Like you just heard from Rich, more rain is possible today and over the next week across our region. We're going in depth now on what this means for lake water levels. News 10 NBC's Christy Blake joins us live from Edgemere Drive right by the lakeshore. Christy, how close are we to flood levels?
We could hit that mark by as early as next Friday. The International Joint Commission publishes a joint water level forecast. Now, right now, we're at 246.8 feet. That's just about 6 inches away from flood watch. The earliest we could hit that number is next Friday. That's May 8th. Lake Ontario has been rising by about a centimeter every day for the last week. The water level forecast shows water levels will remain the same or even increase through much of this summer. With more rain on the way over the next few days, homeowners on the lake are getting ready now with the help from the town.
If people are interested in sandbags, we would deliver the bags and sand. They aren't filled, but it's my understanding we have about 40,000 bags in supply right now. And again, if people need them, we would be in a position, our DPW crews.
Crews are also deploying trailer-mounted pumps near storm sewer drains. How does the River Board deal with high levels? Over the last week, the Lake Ontario outflow was adjusted several times in accordance with the 2014 F limit. We're currently on the first tier. That means outflow managed at the Moses Saunders Dam in Messina, New York, will maintain a maximum level of 72.5 feet in St. Louis. If Lake Ontario gets above 247 feet, the second F tier allows St. Louis to also be raised. So it's not impacted just by what happens here, but other areas in the Great Lake region. This system right here is what's part of that sewer system, those trailers behind me. We have more information about what they're doing and what the homeowners are planning on our website, WHEC.com. Reporting live in Greece, Christy Blake, News 10 NBC.
All right, Christy, thank you very much. One of the main reasons we're watching lake levels, it was nearly 10 years ago when water levels got so high they flooded lakeshore homes and businesses. The 2017 and 2019 flooding caused tens of millions of dollars in damage. We'll be watching rain totals over the next week, and you can too. You can track it all on your phone by downloading News 10 NBC's First Alert weather app. It has radar to track the path of the rainstorms. Just search WHEC weather in your app store.
Well, as Christy mentioned, rain is a major contributing factor to the water levels. First Alert meteorologist Nate Morris also joins us live from Lake Ontario to go in depth on this. The Lake Ontario watershed is a big one, right, Nate?
Yes, it is. About 25,000 square miles, Lynette, stretching around Lake Ontario into Canada, not just western New York, and even out towards the Adirondacks as well. So I'm going to show you a map. The purple shaded region is the watershed for Lake Ontario. So any rain that falls into that zone eventually is going to flow into the lake. So it covers Toronto, Rochester, north of Buffalo, the Niagara Frontier, the entire Genesee River, all of the Finger Lakes, and then parts of the Tug Hill region. Then, of course, a whole big chunk of Ontario province north of the lake. So that's a lot of water filling into the lake. But on top of that, Lake Ontario is also the last of the Great Lakes. So all the other Great Lakes, the water eventually filters into Lake Ontario. Thankfully, Lake Ontario is also relatively deep, so it usually does a good job of managing all that water, and then eventually it will flow out of the St. Lawrence River. But when you have a really rainy season like this, then you still get rising water levels, enough that flooding can become a concern. So I want to show you, this is the last 10 years, how much rain we got in April. 2026 so far, 4.07 inches, and this is coming off the heels of the fourth wettest March in Rochester's history. If you look back towards 2017, almost 5 inches of rain, and of course we all remember how bad the flooding was that year. And unfortunately, the rainy pattern is looking like it's going to continue at least through the next 2 weeks. So if you take a look at the futurecast, this is precipitation going through all of next week towards next Sunday, and these exact numbers, of course, you can't really trust because it's very far out futurecast, but the general trend is more rain than normal. So it's looking like eventually we will hit that flood stage, and it could stay that way possibly into the middle of this summer, perhaps even longer than that.
You know, Nate, I remember 2017. That was a really bad year. I covered a lot of stories of homeowners experiencing a lot of devastating damage. So we will definitely keep an eye on the lake water levels. Thank you, Nate. And the process to bring them down. You can find more coverage in this story on WHEC.com.